Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Arsenal set Nono Tavares price tag as left back impresses at Marseille. According to Football London, Arsenal have set their asking price for Nuno Tavares after the left back's impressive start to life on loan at Marseille. The Gunners signed the Portuguese defender from Benfica last year. He started his Arsenal career in fantastic style and even kept Kieran Tierney out of the side for a few games. However, his fortunes changed following the turn of the year. Tavares was sent out on loan in the summer and he has been a really dangerous player for Marseille since. The Gunners signed Tavares for just £6.8 million last year. He was brought in as a deputy to Tierney, and although his performances at the end of last season were really poor, his stock seems to have gone up. Following a fantastic start to his Marseille career since joining them on loan in the summer, the 22-year-old has made a name for himself as one of the best left wing-backs in League One. He has been brilliant, and Arsenal, who have noticed his impressive performances, have decided to name their price should the clubs come in with an offer for the talented young left-back. The report claims that the Gunners value Tavares at £25.5 million. That's over 3 times what they paid for him just over a year ago, which is just incredible. If Arsenal decide to sell Tavares in 2023, they are almost certain to make a huge profit. When Arsenal decided to loan out Tavares in the summer, they needed to replace him. Arteta and Edu brought in a Premier League winner Alexander Zinchenko from Manchester City, and when he is fit, he is the Gunners' first choice. Tierney is the alternate option for Arteta at left fullback, while Takehiro Tomiyasu has also played there this season and performed brilliantly. That makes it look like there is no place for Tavares at Arsenal, which means a move away next summer would be the best thing for all parties. However, whether Arsenal are prepared to cash in on him straight away next year instead of loaning him out again to further increase his value remains to be seen. Juventus keen to bring 22-year-old Arsenal midfielder Albert Sambi Lokonga. Juventus want to sign Arsenal midfielder Albert Sambi Lokonga in exchange for Weston McKennie. Massimiliano Allegri does not want Weston McKennie in his squad. Massimiliano Allegri has shown an interest in the 22-year-old Belgian midfielder, according to a report in Italy. The report also claims Juventus manager wants to get rid of Weston McKennie. Besides, Juventus are planning to offer him in exchange for Sambi Lokonga. This is the first time Juventus have shown interest in him. Arsenal, on the other hand, have not mentioned anything regarding this transfer. Mikel Arteta on Sambi Lokonga at the start of the year said, "I think he is growing, he is playing better and better. I think he had a really good game the other day against Liverpool. His understanding of the game, he is managing the physicality much better, he is maturing. It's a lot to ask. When we signed him, the expectation that we had for him in the first year was to start adapting, but he has had to play many more minutes than we expected, and the kid is trying his best, and I think he is doing pretty well. At the moment, we don't think that Arsenal is going to sell Lokonga, but it remains to be seen how this story goes." Arsenal begins talks to sign in former player Gabriel Martinelli onto a long-term deal. Arsenal has had a terrific start to this season, and there are a few players whose contributions have made that possible. The Gunners are at the top of the league table, and they have won all their matches in the Europa League so far. This season is shaping up to become a successful one thanks to the likes of Gabriel Martinelli. The Brazilian has matured into a player they need at all times, and he is delivering the goods on the field consistently. He frightens defenders, creates goals and scores some, which makes him a player they must keep. But his current deal is running down, and the clubs are circling the Brazilian superstar. Arsenal knows they will lose a top player if he leaves, and they are now in talks to ensure he stays with them for the long term. The Athletic reports they have opened talks with his entourage to get him on a new long-term deal. Martinelli has been one of the finest players in the Premier League, and we are happy to see him deliver for the club. The Brazilian must be kept even if it means making him one of our biggest earners, because he is worth every penny. Arteta stresses importance of topping Europa League group. Mikel Arteta has emphasized the importance of Arsenal topping their Europa League group ahead of the club's clash with PSV Eindhoven tonight. The winners of the group will progress straight to the last 16, while the runners-up face a two-leg tie with a Champions League drop outside in the round of 32. Speaking ahead of the clash, Arteta stressed the importance of topping the group in a campaign packed full of fixture congestion. Really important in Europe, when you have the chance to take advantage, you have to do it, Arteta told his pre-match press conference. It's always very unpredictable what can happen in the next game. You have to go away, and we know the level of the other teams as well. What I can say watching them, PSV, and what they are doing domestically, internationally, it will be a really tough match. Arsenal have begun this season in a brilliant form and extended their lead at the top of the Premier League to 4 points over the weekend. The North Londoners have won 12 of their 13 fixtures in all competitions this season, and Arteta admits the club's form has improved the atmosphere at the Emirates. Yeah, winning obviously helps a lot, but I have no complaints. I think this is an exceptional group that is in a really good moment. We are enjoying the moment. We want to get better in a lot of things that we are doing, but I think that we are on the right path. Chelsea is worried about Arsenal snapping up one of their players. Chelsea is worried about losing N'Golo Kante to Arsenal, according to a report on 90 Minutes. The French midfielder is in the final season of his current deal at the West London club. He wants to stay, and the Blues are trying their best to keep him in their squad as well, but talks about an extension is not making as much progress as they would have wanted. Kante has been plagued by injuries in the last few seasons, and the midfielder is set to miss a few more months of the season. Chelsea hopes to find an agreement with him, but the report reveals they dread the idea that he might leave them to move to Arsenal or Tottenham. Either North London side will make good use of his experience to boost their chance of winning the Premier League. Kante is a terrific player to have in your squad, and when he is fit, there are only a few players who can play in his position as well as he does. However, injuries have been a problem for him recently, and it makes little sense for us to add him to our squad with his fitness problems. Spanish giants battling Arsenal for a player branded the new Pele. Arsenal has an interest in Palmeiras youngster Endrick as he continues to develop his career in the Brazilian top flight. The 16-year-old has caught the eyes of European clubs while playing for the same club that developed Gabriel Jesus. There is a lot of hype around him, but he is developing fine and could be in Europe when he clocks 18. Arsenal wants to add him to their squad, but 442 reports they are not alone in the quest for his coveted signature. Barcelona and Real Madrid also have an interest in him, which will pose a threat to the Gunners' chances of adding him to their squad. Madrid has lured the best young talents from Brazil in recent times, and the success of the likes of Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. could tempt him to move to the Spanish side. Barca also lured Neymar from Santos, and most Brazilian players dream of playing for them. Madrid and Barca are top competitors, and they have everything to make a player choose them. However, we are also the choice destination for some of the world's best young players, and that will play to our advantage. We have a nice group of Brazilian stars who will help him settle fast if he chooses a move to London over the other destinations. Arsenal could now land Evan Ndicka. Arsenal have been linked with Tottenham Hotspur target Evan Ndicka over the past few days. Spurs were reportedly front-runners to sign the Eintracht Frankfurt defender in the summer. Now, El Romanista has claimed that Mikel Arteta's Gunners are in pursuit of Ndicka, and a report from calciomercato.it has claimed that the likes of Arsenal and Tottenham could land him for cheap. The Italian outlet, via Sport Witness, looked at Ndicka's future amid interest from Serie A. AC Milan and Juventus have reportedly made contact about a deal for the player, whose contract expires next summer. They apparently learned that Frankfurt's initial request would be for 10 to 12 million euros. However, a deal could be closed at 8 to 9 million euros. The German club is not putting up any resistance to a sale, as they want to avoid losing him on a free. As of January, Ndicka will be free to negotiate with the clubs around Europe about a free move in the summer. We could potentially see an exciting transfer battle take place between Arsenal and our rival Tottenham. Ndicka has been on the Lily White's radar for some time. Indeed, he was being watched before Antonio Conte arrived, and Ndicka seems to have impressed enough to remain on their list of targets. But now, Arsenal seem to have set their sights on the 23-year-old. Ndicka would be a great shoot for Arsenal despite his young age. He already has over 150 appearances for Frankfurt in all competitions. Indeed, his efforts helped the club win the Europa League last season. Ndicka is incredibly talented, stands a mighty 6 feet and 4 inches, and can play at left back as well as centre back. Matt Turner says Arsenal target Cody Gakpo has been dangerous this season. Arsenal goalkeeper Matt Turner has been impressed by PSV Eindhoven star Cody Gakpo amid rumours linking him with a move to the Emirates. The Gunners take on the Dutch Giants in the Europa League this evening. A win will all but confirm their status as the group winners, but Gakpo could have a thing or two to say about that later today. Turner has been Mikel Arteta's man in goal for the Europa League game this season. The American has kept 2 clean sheets and has conceded just 1 goal so far, and he will be looking to extend that good record. PSV will definitely be the toughest side Arsenal have faced in the Europa League so far. Gakpo, who has directly contributed to 24 goals in all competitions already, is their main man, and Turner is aware of his prowess. The American was asked about PSV's attack in a press conference yesterday. He said, as per Football London, we are the top 2 teams in the group, and we know that they have a lot of individual quality, a couple of dangerous players up top. Their left winger, Cody Gakpo, has I think 10 goals and 13 assists, and you don't just turn your nose away from that. It's stuff you have to consider. It's going to be a very physical game from every good team, and we expect that, but we want to take all 3 points. Arsenal were on the lookout for a new wide player after Nicolas Pepe was allowed to leave on loan in the summer. Mikel Arteta and Edu tried hard, but no deal materialized in the end. Arteta's first choice wide players are Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka at the moment, and they are both incredible. However, backups for the 2 talented wingers are Reiss Nelson and young Marquinhos, who aren't quite on the same level. The Gunners need to strengthen their wide areas in the summer, and Gakpo, who was heavily linked with a move to the Emirates in the summer, would be an incredible signing. The Dutchman, branded as perfect, can score, create chances, and is a huge threat in the final third, and he already has more goals and assists than any other Arsenal player this season. The game this evening could well be an audition for Gakpo, and if he impresses, Arteta could push for a move to sign him after the World Cup. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.